I never thought one knock at the door could change everything. I was just a broken father, drowning in bills and fear, doing my best to keep my little girl smiling. Then she arrived, a stranger carrying secrets I couldn't imagine, yet bringing hope I didn't believe I deserved. Do you believe in second chances, in family born from fate? If yes, like this video and share your thoughts in comments. The house was too quiet again. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the stack of bills like they were enemies I couldn't defeat. The fridge hummed in the corner, half empty, mocking me with its hollow sound. I rubbed my eyes, wishing numbers on paper could disappear if I stared long enough. "Daddy," a small voice whispered. I looked up. My little girl stood in the doorway, holding her blanket, hair messy from sleep. 6 years old, too young to know how heavy life could get. "You're still awake?" I asked softly. "You are too," she said, climbing onto my lap. "Are you thinking again?" "Always," I muttered. She pressed her tiny hand on my cheek. "About money?" My chest tightened. "Why do you ask?" "Because you frown when you think about money." I forced a smile. "You shouldn't worry about that." "But I do," she said. "Do we have enough?" I wanted to lie better, but the truth leaked into my silence. She tilted her head, waiting. "We have enough for today," I said finally. "That's what matters." She studied me with eyes too wise for her age. "You promise?" "I promise," I whispered, even though I hated myself for it. The clock ticked past midnight. She fell asleep against my chest, her breath steady, her warmth reminding me what I was fighting for. I carried her back to bed, kissed her forehead, and lingered. Back in the kitchen, I opened my phone. My thumb hovered over the screen, heart pounding. I typed, "Room for rent. Cheap, quiet neighborhood." My finger froze above the post button. Shame clawed at me. What kind of father rented out space in his home to strangers just to survive? But the bills stared at me again. I pressed post. Morning light slipped through the cracked blinds. My daughter chewed on a piece of toast, swinging her legs from the chair. "Daddy," she said with her mouth full, "what does it mean to rent a room?" I almost choked on my coffee. "Where did you hear that?" "You were typing last night." I peeked. I sighed. "It means someone might come stay with us. They give us money and we give them a room." Her eyes widened. "Like a sleepover? Forever?" "Not forever. Just for a while." She frowned. "But why?" I hesitated. "How do you tell a child you're drowning?" "Because it'll help Daddy pay for things. Like lights. And food." She set down her toast. "Don't we already have lights and food?" "For now," I said, try and keep my voice steady. She studied me again, like she was piecing together a puzzle. "Will the person be nice?" "I hope so." "Will they play with me?" I chuckled. "That's not why they're here." "Then why?" she pressed. "Because Daddy needs help," I admitted quietly. Her face softened. "It's okay, Daddy. Maybe they'll be kind. Maybe they'll be like family." Her innocence cut deep. She didn't see desperation. She saw hope. I nodded, unable to speak. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat alone again. The walls felt closer, the silence louder. I whispered into the dark. Am I failing her? My thoughts spun. A real father should provide everything, not rely on strangers. But I wasn't a real father, was I? Just a broken man trying to patch holes in a sinking ship. Still, I had no choice. The next day crawled by. I cleaned the extra room, dusted off furniture I'd nearly forgotten. I folded clean sheets, smoothed the bed, and stared around at the small, faded space. Will they like it? My daughter asked in the doorway, hugging her stuffed bear. I don't know, I admitted. She stepped in, twirling. It feels nice. Cozy. Yeah, I said, though my chest felt heavy. Cozy. She plopped onto the bed. If they stay here, can we tell them stories at night? I sat beside her. Maybe, if they want to listen. She leaned against me. I think they will. Everyone likes stories. I kissed her hair. We'll see. Later, when she was tucked in, I sat awake again, staring at the ceiling. The fear was relentless. What if the person was dangerous? What if I put her at risk just to pay bills? But then I pictured the empty fridge, the overdue rent notice, the shoes my daughter had outgrown. Choices weren't luxuries for people like me. They were survival. I closed my eyes, whispering, "Please, let this be the right choice." The house was silent when I drifted off in the armchair. For once, I dreamed my daughter running in sunlight, laughing without worry. I woke to the sound of it, sharp, sudden, echoing to the quiet house. A knock on the door. The knock echoed again. My chest tightened. I forced myself up, careful not to wake my daughter still sleeping down the hall. With each step toward the door, my heart hammered harder. When I opened it, a young woman stood there, 2 heavy suitcases at her feet. She looked nervous, clutching the strap of her bag like it was armor. Hi, she said softly. "I saw your ad. About the room." Her voice was polite, steady, but her eyes gave her away, tired, desperate. I cleared my throat. "It's early." "I'm sorry. I didn't know what time was good." She shifted uncomfortably. I didn't have anywhere else to go." Something about the way she said it pulled me back. I leaned against the doorframe. "You're looking for a place to stay?" "Yes," she nodded quickly. "Just somewhere quiet. Safe." I glanced at the suitcases. They looked too neat, too expensive for someone stepping into my broken house. "This isn't much of a place," I muttered. Her lips curved in a faint smile. "I don't need much." Behind me, small footsteps pattered. My daughter peeked out, rubbing her eyes. "Daddy? Who is it?" she whispered, grabbing my leg. The woman crouched slightly, her eyes softening. "Hi there." My daughter buried her face in my jeans, peeking out only a little. "She's shy," I said quickly, more defensive than I meant. "That's okay," the woman replied gently. "I'm used to it." Used to it. The words lingered strangely. I stepped back a little. "Come in. Just for a minute." She hesitated, then picked up her bags and walked inside. The living room looked small, worn down, like it wanted to apologize for itself. She glanced around, polite enough not to stare at the peeling paint or sagging couch. "Sorry about the mess," I said. "It's fine. Really." My daughter tugged on my sleeve. "Daddy, is she going to live here?" I crouched beside her. "Maybe. We're just talking." The girl gave my daughter a smile that was almost shy itself. "What's your name?" "Lily," my daughter whispered. "That's pretty," the woman said softly. "My name's Anna." Lily peeked out more this time, curious. I sat down on the edge of the couch, gesturing for Anna to take the chair. She perched on it like she didn't want to leave a mark. "So," I started, "why here?" "There are better places out there." "I can't afford better," she admitted. "And I don't want noisy roommates or a crowded dorm. I just need quiet." Her honesty disarmed me more than I wanted to admit. "College?" I asked. She nodded. "Yeah, classes start soon." "What are you studying?" "Literature." She looked away quickly, as if the word embarrassed her. Lily climbed onto my lap, still staring at her. "Do you like stories?" Anna smiled, a real one this time. "I love stories." Something in my daughter's expression shifted. She giggled quietly, then hid her face again. I rubbed my chin, torn. "Look, I'll be straight. I'm not sure about this. I've got my kid here. I don't want strangers around her." "I understand," Anna said immediately. "I'd never." She stopped herself, then continued softer. "I'd never hurt her. Or you. I really need a place." Her eyes flickered, and I caught a glimpse of something deeper. Fear maybe, or sadness she wasn't saying out loud. I sighed. My gut told me to say no. My wallet told me I couldn't. "You'd pay rent on time?" I asked. "Yes, always." "No trouble?" "None." "No parties? No weird people coming over?" She shook her head quickly. "Just me." Lily tugged on my sleeve again. "Daddy, can she stay?" "Lily," I warned. "Please?" "She's nice." Anna blinked, surprised. "You don't have to decide now. I can keep looking." I stared at her for a long moment. She didn't look like trouble. She looked like someone carrying her own battles. Finally, I exhaled. All right, you can stay. But understand, my daughter comes first. Always. Her shoulders dropped in relief. Of course. I wouldn't expect anything less. Lily hopped down, walking over with a sudden burst of courage. Do you want to see my room? Anna's eyes warmed. I'd love to. As they walked off together, I stayed behind, uneasy. She seemed honest. Kind. Maybe too kind. And yet, something about the way she avoided certain questions made me wonder. She was hiding something. I could feel it. But for now, I chose not to ask. The first nights with Anna in the house felt strange. Every sound carried differently. The creak of the hallway floor, the running water in the bathroom, the soft thud of her door closing. Late one night, I woke to faint muffled sounds, quiet crying through the thin walls. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, unsure if I should knock or pretend I hadn't heard. In the end, I stayed silent, guilt pressing down on me. I wasn't her father. I wasn't her anything. At breakfast the next morning, Lily swung her legs at the table. Daddy, Anna made pancakes, she said, syrup dripping from her chin. I frowned. She didn't have to. Anna appeared with a plate in her hands, looking almost apologetic. I thought it might help. I hope it's all right. I nodded stiffly. Thanks. Lily grinned. They're yummy. Better than Daddy's. I cleared my throat. Traitor. Anna laughed softly, though it faded quickly, as if laughter didn't come easy to her. The days passed awkwardly. She offered to sweep the floor, wash dishes, even fold laundry. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she kept insisting. One evening, I finally asked, "Why are you doing all this?" She glanced at the sink full of clean plates. Because it feels good to be useful. And because you look tired. Her words caught me off guard. I turned away, pretending to check the stove. I'm fine. But I wasn't fine, and somehow she already knew. The more she stayed, the more Lily laughed. One afternoon, I came home from work to hear giggles from the living room. I froze in the doorway. Lily sat cross-legged on a rug, crayons scattered around her, while Anna lay on the floor beside her, pretending to color too. Daddy, look, Lily shouted, holding up a crooked drawing of 3 stick figures. Who's that? I asked. Me, you, and Anna, she said proudly. My stomach twisted. A stranger was now part of her world. That night, Lily tugged at my sleeve while I tucked her in. Daddy, can Anna read me the story tonight? I stiffened. Why not me? You always read, she said, smiling sweetly. Just this once. Anna stood uncertain in the doorway. I can if it's okay. I hesitated, then nodded. All right, just one story. Lily clapped her hands. I stepped out, leaning against the wall. Through the crack in the door, I heard Anna's soft voice reading, patient and gentle. Lily giggled at parts that never made her laugh with me. Her laughter filled the room like sunlight I hadn't felt in months. I slid down the wall, rested my head against my knees. Relief mixed with guilt. Was I failing if my daughter found more joy in someone else's voice? Or was I lucky that, for once, she wasn't missing what I couldn't give? When the story ended, I heard Lily's small voice. Anna? Yes. Don't leave, okay? My throat tightened. I won't, Anna whispered. I walked in quietly. Lily was half asleep, clutching her stuffed bear. Thank you, I murmured. Anna shook her head. No need. She's wonderful. She is, I said softly. She's all I've got. Anna looked at me for a moment, something unreadable in her eyes. Then she slipped out of the room, leaving me in the doorway. Later that week, while setting the table, Lily blurted out, Daddy skips dinner sometimes. My hand froze on the plate. Lily! Anna's head snapped up. What? It's true, Lily said innocently. He says he's not hungry, but he is. He just lets me eat instead. Heat crawled up my neck. That's enough, Lily. Anna's eyes darkened, heavy with something like anger, but not at me, at the situation. She set down her fork slowly. You shouldn't have to do that. I avoided her gaze, stacking plates just to keep my hands busy. It's not your concern. Her silence was louder than any words. And in that silence, I knew she had seen through me more than I wanted anyone to. Anna's silence after Lily's words hung in the air. She didn't have to say anything. Her eyes had already said too much. Finally, she spoke quietly. You shouldn't skip meals for her. I tightened my jaw. I told you it's not your concern. It is, she said. You're hurting yourself. My chest flared hot. Don't act like you understand. You've been here a week. You don't know what I've had to do. Her voice stayed calm but firm. I don't need to know everything. I can see enough. You're running on empty, and it's not just about food. I slammed the cupboard shut harder than I meant to. Don't pity me. I don't need it. Her eyes softened instead of hardening. It's not pity. It's respect for what you do for her. That should have comforted me, but it only stung. I muttered something under my breath and walked out before I said words I couldn't take back. That night, I sat at the table long after they were both asleep. The quiet pressed in, heavy and merciless. My reflection stared back at me in the dark window. Hollow eyes, unshaven face, shoulders hunched like a man twice my age. Maybe she was right. Maybe I looked broken because I was broken, but I couldn't afford to be. Fathers weren't allowed to break. Fathers carried the weight, even if it crushed them. I was about to turn in when I heard it. Faint, steady words coming from Anna's room. I moved closer, careful not to creak the floorboards. Please, her voice whispered. Watch over them. Give him strength. Keep her safe. They deserve peace. My throat tightened. She was praying. For us. I stepped back quietly, ashamed I'd eavesdropped, but unable to stop the warmth that flickered in my chest. Nobody prayed for me anymore. Nobody thought I deserved that. Hours later, Lily stirred restlessly in her bed. Her cheeks looked flushed. I touched her forehead and panic shot through me. She was burning up. Lily? My voice shook. Can you hear me? She whimpered softly, her skin hot against my palm. I stumbled out of the room, knocking on Anna's door. Anna, I need help. The door opened instantly, her hair messy, eyes alert. What happened? It's Lily. She's burning up. She followed me and knelt by the bed and pressed her hand gently to Lily's forehead. She's got a fever. Bad one. My chest felt like it was caving in. What do I do? Hospital. Not yet, Anna said firmly. Get some water. Towels. We'll cool her down. Stay calm. Calm? My baby was burning alive in front of me, but her steady voice anchored me, so I obeyed. For hours we sat by Lily's side. Anna swapped cool cloths on her forehead, coaxed sips of water between her lips, whispered soothing words whenever she whimpered. I hovered uselessly, wringing my hands. She's not getting better. She's still hot. Anna shook her head gently. Fevers climb before they fall. We're doing what we can. She just needs us here. She needs more than me. I muttered bitterly. Anna looked up. Don't say that. You're the reason she fights. She knows you're here. I sank into the chair, burying my face in my hands. Every cough from Lily felt like a dagger. Near dawn, Lily finally settled, her breathing evening out. Anna brushed the damp hair from her forehead, exhaustion in her every movement. She's stabilizing, she whispered. Her body's fighting it. Relief crashed over me so hard, I nearly collapsed. Thank God. Anna leaned back, eyes half closed. See? She's strong, like her father. I shook my head. Strong? I almost lost it. I don't know what I'd do if... My voice broke and I couldn't finish. She reached out, resting her hand lightly on my arm. You keep going, because you always do. Her touch was steady, not pitying. For the first time in a long while, I believed her. The sun crept through the curtains, pale and tired. Lily slept peacefully now, cheeks less flushed. I stood by the bed, brushing her hand with mine, whispering a silent thank you to whoever had listened. Behind me, Anna exhaled slowly. I should tell you something. I turned. Her eyes were shadowed but steady. There's a reason I came here. A reason I needed somewhere safe. My chest tightened again, not with panic this time, but with a strange, uneasy curiosity. What reason? I asked quietly. She swallowed hard. The truth is, I haven't told you who I really am. I crossed my arms, bracing myself. Then who are you, Anna? Because right now, you're standing in my house, looking like you've been holding something back since the day you showed up. Her voice shook, but she didn't look away. My name is Anna Layton. My father is Richard Layton. I frowned. Layton? The Layton Corporation? She nodded slowly. I laughed once, sharp and bitter. You're joking. You here in this house? You expect me to believe a billionaire's daughter is sitting at my kitchen table. Her eyes glistened, but her voice steadied. I didn't come here to be believed. I came here because I couldn't breathe there anymore. The money, the cameras, the expectations. I was drowning. I just wanted somewhere normal. Somewhere safe. Safe. In my rundown, creaking house? I wanted to scoff, but the look in her eyes stopped me. I dropped into a chair, rubbing my face. So, let me get this straight. You got more money than my whole neighborhood combined, and you chose this place? You don't even know what broken looks like. Her voice softened. I know more than you think. I've had everything money could buy, except peace, except love without strings. People look at me and see my father's empire, not me. When I walked through your door, it was the first time in years I felt human. Anger burned in my chest. Do you hear yourself? You had choices I could never dream of. And you came here to my daughter and me, like this was some experiment. No. Her voice cracked. I came here because I was desperate, not to play games. I wanted to feel like I mattered, not for my last name, but for me. I stared at her, fists tight. My mind screamed at me. She doesn't belong here. She'll never understand. But another voice whispered, look at her eyes. She's running from something too. Still, the bitterness pressed hard. You walk into my world like you can just borrow it for a while. Like suffering is something you can try on. Her shoulders slumped. You think I want to be born into that life? You think it's easy to live in a golden cage where even your smile is scheduled? Her words hung heavy between us. I didn't know how to answer. From a hallway, Lily's sleepy voice broke the silence. Daddy, I turned. Go back to bed, sweetheart. But she walked in, rubbing her eyes, clutching her stuffed rabbit. She looked at Anna and smiled faintly. Sissy, can you tuck me in? I froze. What did you just call her? Lily repeated it, firmer this time. Sister. She reached for Anna's hand. Anna's lips trembled, tears spilling before she could stop them. She crouched down, hugging Lily tight. I'd be honored to. Something twisted inside me, not jealousy, but a painful ache. Lily had never used that word for anyone. She saw something in Anna I was too proud, or too bitter, to admit. Later, when Lily was asleep again, I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. You're dangerous to us. If people find out who you are, Anna whispered. They already might. I heard whispers in town. Someone recognized me at the store. My stomach dropped. What did they say? Nothing yet, but if word spreads, it won't take long before reporters come. Or worse, my father's people. They'll drag me back. I cursed under my breath. So now it's not just my mess. It's yours too. Her eyes searched mine, pleading. I never want to put you at risk. But please, don't send me away. I'll work, I'll cook, I'll do whatever you need. Just don't shut the door on me. I turned away, fist tightening against the wall. Part of me wanted to scream at her, throw her bags out, lock the door. Pride told me she didn't belong, that letting her stay would only bring trouble. But another part, the one that had heard her pray for us, had watched her cool Lily's fever through the night, couldn't ignore the truth. She cared. Genuinely, without pity, without strings. I hated how much I needed that. Finally, I faced her. My voice was low, tight. This roof doesn't have room for two worlds. Mine's already cracked. Yours could crush it. She whispered. Or maybe together they could hold. I closed my eyes, exhaustion pressing down like bricks. She didn't know the weight I carried. But maybe, just maybe, she carried her own. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if pushing her away was strength or cowardice. Her last words echoed in my head. Together, they could hold. I wanted to believe her. But the next morning, I saw the black car parked down the street, engine idling, 2 men inside pretending to check their phones. By afternoon, another car, then men in suits knocking on my neighbors' doors. I shut our curtains fast, my chest tightening. It's happening. They found her. And now my little girl is right in the middle of it. At dinner, I barely tasted the food. Lily chatted, giggling with Anna, who sat across from me. They laughed over a silly drawing Lily made, but my eyes kept flicking to window. Finally, I snapped, "Anna, what's going on? Who are those men?" She froze, fork halfway to her mouth. "Men? Yes, men. Suits. Cars I've never seen before. They're knocking on doors down the street." Lily looked up, confused. "Daddy, why are you mad?" I forced a thin smile. "Not at you, sweetheart. Finish your peas." Anna's voice lowered. I didn't think they'd find me so soon. Her words made my stomach drop. "So it is them?" She nodded, eyes down. Later, after putting Lily to bed, I cornered her in the hallway. My voice shook more than I wanted. "Do you have any idea what this means? My daughter lives here. If they come—" "I know," she whispered. "That's why I was trying to disappear. But people like my father, they don't stop searching." I pressed my palms into my eyes. I should tell her to leave. For Lily's sake, for our safety. But then Lily's laugh from earlier rang in my memory. The way her little arms wrapped around Anna like she belonged. I lowered my hands. I can't keep her safe if you're here. But I also can't rip her heart out by sending you away. Her voice cracked. "So what do you want me to do?" We ended up outside on the porch, the night air heavy. The street was quiet now, but the weight of those cars lingered in my chest. I sat on the steps, staring at the dark. "Tell me the truth. No more hiding. What happens if they find you?" Anna sat beside me, knees drawn up. Her voice was small, almost broken. "If they take me back, I lose everything. Freedom, school, even my name. I'll be paraded at galas, shoved into arranged meetings, treated like a pawn. I'll smile for cameras while dying inside." Her hands trembled. "But if I stay here, I put you and Lily at risk, and that's the last thing I want." I clenched my fists. How did my quiet, broken life get tangled with this? All I wanted was to keep a roof over my daughter's head. Now I was staring down shadows that didn't belong in our world. "Anna," I said, voice rough, "I don't care about money or names or empires. I care about one thing, Lily. If danger comes to this door, I will burn the world down before I let it touch her." Her eyes filled with tears. "I believe you. That's why this hurts so much." "Then maybe you should go." The words nearly killed me. Her breath hitched. "If I go, I'll survive. But I'll lose her. You don't know what it feels like to have a child call you sister for the first time." I looked away, my throat tightening. I did know. I knew what it meant to be chosen, loved without condition. We sat in silence. Crickets chirping, shadows stretching long across the street. My heart battled itself. Fear on one side, love on the other. Finally, she whispered, "If they force me back, I'll go. But leaving you, leaving her will break me." Her voice cracked like glass. I stared into the dark road, fists clenched, jaw tight. I didn't have an answer, not yet. But deep inside, I knew the storm at our door wasn't just hers anymore. It was ours. And if I had to fight shadows to protect the fragile light we'd built here, then so be it. The shadows outside hadn't left me alone since that night on the porch. Every time I heard an engine on our street, my chest tightened. Bills still sat unopened on the table, but now they weren't the only thing suffocating me. I told myself I could handle being broke. I could handle the sleepless nights, the gnawing hunger when I skipped meals. But putting my daughter in danger? That thought gnawed at me until it broke something inside. It was past midnight when I finally snapped. Anna was folding laundry at the table, the light soft on her face. She looked too calm for the storm that lived in me. I slammed my palm down. You need to go. She froze, a shirt clenched in her hands. What? You heard me. I barked. This circus outside, the men, the cars, it's not safe. I can't protect Lily if you're here. Her lips parted, trembling. So that's it? You're throwing me out. I turned away, jaw tight. I don't have a choice. A soft gasp came from the hallway. My heart dropped as Lily stood there in her pajamas, her stuffed rabbit hanging limp at her arms. Tears filled her little eyes. No, Daddy, she screamed, rushing forward. Don't make Sissy leave. I knelt, trying to catch her, but she hit my chest with her tiny fists. You promised, Daddy. You promised she could stay. Her sobs cut me deeper than any bill collector, deeper than any fear. Please, Daddy. Please don't take her away. Anna knelt too, brushing Lily's hair back, her own tears falling. Sweetheart, it's not your daddy's fault. He's just scared. Lily clung to her. Then we can all be scared together. Just don't go. Her words shattered me, but fear still drove me. My voice came out rough. Anna, pack your things. She swallowed hard, nodded once, and stood. No anger, no fight, just quiet heartbreak. She carried the folded laundry back to her room. I wanted to stop her. Every step she took sounded like a hammer against my chest. But pride and terror kept me frozen. Hours later, I sat alone in my room, head in my hands. The house felt wrong, too quiet, too cold. Lily had cried herself to sleep. I'd done this. I thought of Anna's hands on Lily's forehead the night of the fever, of her laughter filling our broken kitchen, of her whispered prayers when she thought no one could hear. And I thought of Lily's face tonight, wet with tears, begging me not to tear away the only sister she'd ever known. What kind of father am I? Not strong, not wise, just scared. And fear was making me destroy the very thing that had breathed life back into our home. By dawn, I couldn't sit still. I stumbled into the hallway. Her door was open. The bed was neatly made. Her suitcase was gone. Damn it, I muttered, rushing outside. The morning air stung sharp against my lungs as I ran down the cracked sidewalk. At the corner, I saw her, lugging her suitcase, head bowed, shoulders heavy. Anna! My voice tore out raw. She turned, eyes red, her face pale. I caught up, panting. Don't leave. She shook her head. You told me to. I don't want to hurt you. Or, Lily. I grabbed the suitcase handle, holding it still. My voice broke. It's not about me. It's about her. She finally laughs again. She finally feels family again. If you walk away, it'll crush her. Anna's chin trembled. And you? What about you? I swallowed hard. I'm terrified. I don't know how to do this. But I know I can't watch her lose you. Not after everything. Her tears spilled freely now. You mean that? I nodded. Stay. Please. For her. She dropped the suitcase, covering her face with her hands. A soft sob slipped out, but this time it sounded like relief. I pulled her close, awkward, fumbling, but real. For the first time in years, I felt like maybe I wasn't failing completely. We walked back toward the house together, Lily's window glowing with morning light. For a heartbeat, I let myself believe we could make it through this. But as we stepped onto the porch, the crunch of tires on gravel made me freeze. A black limousine rolled to a stop in front of our house. The windows were tinted. But when the back door opened, a tall man in an expensive suit stepped out. His presence cut the air like a blade. Anna stiffened beside me, her face draining of color. Anna, the man said, his voice commanding, practice cold. It's time to come home. My chest tightened, anger and dread colliding. I moved instinctively in front of her, shielding her with my body. And in that moment, I knew this wasn't just her fight anymore. It was mine too. Anna stiffened behind me, her breath shallow. I felt her fear pressing against my back, and my fists curled so tight my nails dug into my palms. I forced my voice steady. This is my house. Don't just storm in and give orders. He stepped closer, shoes shining against my cracked porch. eyes burning with contempt. House? This? His gaze swept over the peeling paint, the sagging railing. He sneered. This is a shack. And you, his finger jabbed at me. You're a failure pretending to be a man. Heat rushed through me, shame and rage fighting for control. Failure. He sees what I already believe about myself. But then Lily's small voice broke through. Daddy's not a failure. She had come to the doorway, clutching her rabbit, eyes fierce. She darted forward, wrapping herself around Anna's leg. And Sissy's not leaving. Anna bent, trembling, holding Lily tight. Her father's jaw tightened. You see? This is what you reduce yourself to. Children clinging to fantasies. You have responsibilities. Anna, a family name. A future worth more than these. He spat the word. Crumbs. I stepped forward, shaking but resolute. Listen to me. My daughter may not have gold, but she has love. She has laughter. She has a home where she matters. Can you say the same about what you're offering your own child? His eyes narrowed, his lips curling. Love doesn't pay bills. Love doesn't buy safety. You can't keep the lights on with love. I exhaled sharply, meeting his stare. No, but money can't buy what my daughter feels when she runs into my arms. Or what your daughter feels when she tucks mine in at night. Tell me, Mr. Layton, when was the last time Anna smiled at you like that? His face hardened, but he had no answer. Anna's voice, quiet but firm, cut in. Dad. He turned sharply. Get your things. We're leaving. Her hands trembled on Lily's shoulders, but her words came stronger than I'd ever heard them. No, I'm not. His eyes blazed. Excuse me? I said no. She stood, lifting her chin. All my life, you've told me who to be, where to stand, how to smile. But here, for the first time, I feel like a person, like family. I'm not leaving them. Lily squeezed her tighter. See, Daddy? She wants to stay. Silence stretched thick in the room, broken only by Lily's sniffles. My heart pounded so loud I thought they could hear it. Her father's face shifted, rage wrestling with disbelief. His daughter, the obedient heir, defy him in front of a broke stranger and a little girl. Finally, he spoke, voice low and dangerous. You think this man, this life, is worthy of you? You think this is family? Anna's tears glistened, but her voice didn't waver. Yes, more than anything I ever had in your mansion. I swallowed hard, pride swelling in me, though fear gnawed too. If he takes her, we lose everything. If he leaves her, the storm only grows. He turned on me once more. You filled her head with nonsense. I shook my head. No, she filled her own. All I did was open the door when she knocked. His mouth tightened. For a long moment, no one spoke. Lily's small hand clung to Anna's, refusing to let go. Finally, he let out a harsh breath, turning toward the door. This isn't over. She'll come to her senses. And when she does, she'll realize love doesn't last. He stepped outside, the slam of the door rattling the walls. I let out a shaky exhale, my knees almost buckling. God. Anna pressed her face into Lily's hair, sobbing quietly. I'm so sorry. I touched her shoulder. You don't have to be sorry. You just did the bravest thing I've ever seen. She lifted her eyes to mine, shining through tears. He won't stop. I nodded slowly. I know, but neither will we. The house was silent again, but not like before. It wasn't the silence of emptiness. It was a silence of love, standing its ground. And for the first time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, we had a chance. The door had barely stopped trembling after his departure, and yet the silence that followed was different, lighter somehow, though jagged at the edges. I drew a shaky breath and glanced at Anna and Lily. They clung to each other on the couch, tear-streaked, but still here. He didn't take her. Not tonight. The next morning, Lily tugged my sleeve while I was pouring coffee. Daddy, is he coming back? I knelt, smoothing her messy hair. I don't know, sweetheart, but if he does, we'll face it together. Her little brow furrowed. You promise you won't let him take her? The weight of that promise pressed heavy on my chest. Can I protect him from a man with power and money? I forced a smile. I promise I'll fight with everything I have. Anna hovered in the doorway, eyes red but determined. And so will I. Lily ran to her, wrapping tiny arms around her waist. Then we're safe. The days that followed were quieter. No strange cars on the street. No knocks at the door. Just us. Still, I carried tension in my shoulders, like waiting for thunder after lightning. One afternoon, Anna stepped into the kitchen with a toolbox. Your porch steps are loose. Thought I'd fix them before one of us breaks an ankle. I blinked. You know how to do that? She smirked faintly. Turns out I'm good with more than just running away. I wanted to argue, to tell her she didn't need to, that it wasn't her job, but the truth was, I needed the help. Pride had been choking me for too long. I rubbed the back of my neck. All right, but I'm helping. Out on the porch, Lily sat cross-legged, pretending her rabbit was a project manager. She clapped every time Anna tightened a bolt or I hammered a nail straight. Daddy, Lily giggled. Sissy's better at this than you? I grinned despite myself. Yeah, I noticed. Anna shot me a playful look. Guess I'm hired. Her laughter mixed with Lily's, filling spaces in me I hadn't realized were empty. This is what I'd been missing. Not just survival. Not just scraping by. Living. Later that week, Anna came in from the grocery store, arms full of bags. I used my allowance. I frowned. You don't need to spend. Don't, she cut me off softly. Let me give back. It feels good. I swallowed my pride, nodding. Thank you. That night we cooked together. Lily stirred sauce while Anna chopped vegetables with surprising skill. At the table, Lily announced, We're a real family now. My throat tightened. Yeah, kiddo, we are. Anna's eyes glistened, but she smiled and I could see it. Something shifting in her. Not the runaway who had stumbled into our lives, but a young woman standing on her own feet. Still, scars lingered. Some nights, I caught her staring out the window, face shadowed. One evening, I joined her. Thinking about him? I asked. She nodded slowly. He'll never understand why I chose this. But I don't regret it. I hesitated, then admitted, I don't know if I can give you much. No mansion, no security. She turned to me, firm. You gave me freedom. And love, that's more than he ever did. Her words pierced deep. For so long, I thought not having enough made me less of a father, less of a man. But maybe, just maybe, it made room for something richer. One Saturday morning, Lily pulled us both outside. Picnic time, she declared, dragging a blanket into the yard. We sprawled on the grass, sandwiches in hand, the sun warming our faces. Lily sang nonsense songs between bites, making us laugh until our sides hurt. Anna leaned back on her elbows, watching her. She's changed me, you know. How so? I asked. She made me want to stop running. To build something, even if it's small, even if it's messy. I looked at both of them, my heart swelling. That's all I've ever wanted, too. As the weeks rolled by, the house felt different, not fixed overnight. There were still bills stacked on the counter, still worries I couldn't shake, but lighter, stronger. Every laugh, every shared chore, every whispered bedtime story stitched us together tighter. One night, after Lily finally fell asleep, Anna sat across from me on the porch. You ever think about the future? She asked. All the time, I admitted. It used to terrify me. Still does some days. But now, I see more than just fear. I see hope. She smiled faintly. Me too. I leaned back, staring at the stars. This isn't the life I planned. But maybe it's the life I was meant for. As the night settled around us, I realized something simple yet profound. Family wasn't blood or fortune. It was love chosen, love fought for, love that stayed. And for the first time in years, I believed we were building not just a house, but a home. The stars still hung over our porch when I leaned back in the chair, the night quiet except for the soft rhythm of Lily's breathing inside. Anna sat beside me, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes reflecting the faint glow of the moon. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. It was steady like a heartbeat. Daddy? Lily's small voice drifted from the cracked window. Yes, sweetheart. She yawned loudly. We're not alone anymore, right? I felt my chest ache. No, baby, not anymore. Anna looked at me then, her lips pressing into a quiet smile. That sentence, it kept echoing. Not alone. How many nights had I sat in this very chair, staring into darkness, certain that loneliness was the only thing I'd ever know. I had believed love was for other men, better men, men who hadn't failed so much. The next morning, Lily climbed into my lap, while I tried balancing bills on the table. Daddy, don't frown. It makes your face look like a raisin. I chuckled. A raisin, huh? That bad? Uh-huh, she nodded seriously. But Sissy makes it better. She waved at Anna across the kitchen. Anna laughed. Guess I'm the anti-raisin. I shook my head. I think you both are. As the day went on, I noticed the little things. How Lily hummed when she played. How Anna slipped into chores without being asked. How the house no longer echoed the way it used to. It was messy, imperfect, fragile, but it was ours. That evening, Lily shoved a crayon drawing into my hand. Look, it's us. You, me, and Sissy. We're holding hands. The figures were crooked, the colors wild, but my throat tightened. It's perfect. Anna leaned over my shoulder. She gave me big hair. I like it. Lily grinned. 'Cause you're strong. Strong people have big hair. I burst out laughing, wiping at my eyes. Out of the mouths of children, the truest things often come. Later, after Lily was asleep, I sat at the edge of her bed, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. Good night, my fighter, I whispered. She stirred, murmuring something I could barely hear. Don't give up, Daddy. I froze. She knew more than I ever gave her credit for. She'd seen me at my weakest, yet still believed in me. Maybe redemption wasn't something earned in grand gestures. It was stitched together in small moments like this. Back in the living room, Anna waited quietly. You okay? She asked. I lowered myself into the chair beside her. Better than I've been in years. She studied me. You don't look so weighed down anymore. I exhaled slowly. I carried guilt like armor. Thought if I punished myself enough, maybe I'd pay off my mistakes. And now, she asked gently, now I see, fatherhood isn't about never failing. It's about never walking away, never giving up. Her eyes softened. You've never given up on her. Or me. Her words sank deep. Maybe that's what love was. Choosing every day to stay, even when storms came. The next morning, Lily barreled into the kitchen. Daddy, pancakes. Please? With chocolate chips. I groaned. That sounds like a sugar disaster. Anna smirked. I'll help. You can't say no if we team up. Soon flour dusted the counter. Syrup dripped everywhere, and Lily laughed so hard she hiccuped. I caught myself smiling, really smiling, without the shadow of fear behind it. This is what redemption looks like. Not perfect pancakes. Not perfect anything. Just love, alive in the chaos. After breakfast, I stepped outside, letting the cold morning air clear my head. The yard still looked rough, paint peeling, grass patchy, but felt different. No longer a place of shame. Now a place being rebuilt. Slowly. Like me, Anna joined me, slipping her hand into her coat pocket. Where do you see yourself years from now? I glanced at the window where Lily pressed her face against the glass, waving wildly. Here, with her, with you if you'll stay. Her voice caught. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. The scars remain. The failures, the nights of hunger, the guilt. They don't vanish, but they no longer define me. I am more than what I lost. I am what I choose now. That night, as the three of us sat on the worn couch, Lily nestled between us, I whispered what had been building in me for months. I promise to protect you both, to love you, and to keep believing no matter what storms come. Lily smiled sleepily. You sound like a superhero, Daddy. Anna leaned her head on my shoulder. To us, you are. And in that moment, I believed it.